Hey y'all, it's Taryn. It is Sunday, December 22nd. Welcome. We have made it back safely. Obviously, I was not able to record before we left on vacation. Um, but we had a wonderful time. We'll get to all of that. But before I forget, the bee stuff winner, Sandy Bartholomew 3603. If Here, I wrote it down. If you have contacted me, I haven't seen it. So I'll include my email and my Instagram in here in the description box. And if you will get in touch with me, I'd love to send you your bee themed box. There's a bee pattern, but there will be other bee things included. Okay. I am drinking hot tea today because, of course, we got back from vacation. Every day I get a pollen alert here, so there we are. Allergies are driving me crazy. Before we get to other stuff, here's the really important part. Ryan went to see Santa Claus, and this is my favorite picture that they took. He is so stinking cute. He'll be a year old next month. I can't even believe it. It's ridiculous. That's what it is. It's ridiculous. But he's not walking on his own. But he is, if he has the little thing to push in front of him, he is getting into everything. His mom's not ready for it. So there you go. Vacation. We were gone 2 weeks, a little over 2 weeks, maybe. I don't know, because we did not plan anything. We decided Las Vegas would be our turnaround point, and we would decide where we wanted to stop the next night as we were driving. The only thing we did ahead of time is I booked the reservation for Thanksgiving. We left on Thanksgiving, so I booked the reservation for that night to make sure that we had a place to stay and all of that. The rest of it, we just waited until the next day. Or until the night before, I guess, and we would decide what we wanted to do. We went to White Sands National Park, and if I can download the video of Dax, if I can include it with this, I will try to put it in with this video, because he decided he was just going to do things he doesn't usually do on this vacation, just let loose, and he rolled down a hill, one of the sand dunes, except for he picked one that had like a drop-off as he started, and then it dropped off like this much. And then he started rolling out of control. And on the video, mostly what you can hear is me laughing. Because he wasn't hurt, and it was funny. He was a little terrified, but on my end, he was safe and it was funny. And then we were driving, and he saw a sign that said Fort Bowie National Ruins, National Park. I don't know. I don't remember, but he said, "Isn't that one you talked about?" And I said, "Yeah." And so we went to see it. Well, you have to hike 1.5 miles to get to the ruins, and then 1.5 miles back. And I can tell you, I was completely disappointed when we got there. I understand what ruins are, but there was stuff that had been obviously added. And I don't know how recently. There wasn't anything to explain what was additional, what was how it actually was. And so I was, that 1.5 miles, that 3-mile hike did not make me happy. And at the beginning, before you even go in, they have signs posted, what to do if you see a bear and what to do if you see a mountain lion. And I'm like, what are we doing? What are we getting ourselves into here? We survived, obviously. We, like I said, we spent 2 or 3 days in Tombstone, Arizona. And that was fun. We spent, like I said, 3 days in Vegas. We did the Grand Canyon. We spent a couple of nights in Williams, Arizona. And we did a train ride that goes up into the Grand Canyon, to Grand Canyon Village or whatever it is. And that was fun. It's like a 2-hour train ride up and a 2-hour train ride back, I think. And we did like the observation car where you're up on the top and it's glass above and beside you and everything. And that was good. It was nice. You really, I mean, you're not seeing the Grand Canyon. You're going north to the Grand Canyon, but you're still seeing the scenery around. But they talk a lot about, what's going on, what you're seeing, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's called the Grand Canyon Railroad, I think. And they have attendants for each box car. And ours was named Rob, and he was wonderful. He was funny, he was witty, and told us a lot of stuff. He was great. I felt a little bit bad for him because he's got a speech impediment where he can't pronounce R's, and his name is Rob, and he works for the railroad. But my thought would be like, how crazy would that be not to be able to pronounce your own name? Anyway, he was wonderful. We really enjoyed it and everything. In the same rail company does a Polar Express thing for the kids. There were parents, and they do. This one goes, you go up in the morning and then you get back on the train at like 2:30 in the afternoon and come back. You've got 3 hours while you're there. And I apologize for clearing my throat all the time. But in the evening in December, they do Polar Express, and there were families in pajamas everywhere, but they go part of the way up, probably like 30 minutes down the railroad. And they've got like a little Santa's village set up, and then the train comes back. It looks like they do it upright. Beforehand, in the train station, there is Santa Claus. You can take your picture with Santa Claus. Mrs. Claus is sitting in front of a fire and reading books to the children. They have a place for, a coloring station and hot chocolate, and it looks like a wonderful thing. If you don't live in the area, it's a long way to go for it, but it looks fantastic. At some point, a front blew through. On the weather, we could only look 10 days out, which the temperatures were pretty mild. But then this front came through someplace that we stayed when we got up one morning, and it's also hard when you're in the mountains than not in the mountains, because it makes a huge difference in temperature. One of the places, though, we got up and it was like 20 degrees, 19 degrees with a wind chill of 9 or something. We weren't ready for that. We were not prepared for that. So I just told Dax, okay, today I'm just going to wear everything I brought, all the clothes. But we went to after we left the Grand Canyon, we just, on a whim, because we saw the sign, we stopped at, I don't remember what it's called, like Crater National Park. I don't remember, something like that. Where there's a huge crater from a meteor strike, because we hadn't just spent 2 days looking at the biggest hole on the face of the earth. We had to stop and look at another one. But we did that, and a lot of the vacation was just stuff like that. We stayed in Sedona, and got up and hiked out onto, I'm trying to think of what the name of it was. I don't remember anymore. But we hiked in the dark to get to a spot to watch the sun come up in the mountains in Sedona. So that was insane. It was cold. It was dark. And we could hear a pack of coyotes that sounded very near. I hear them out here at our house at night, but I can tell they're far away. These sounded near, but obviously we survived. And then we did, some other things. I don't even really remember what. But we finally got to the point where I was like, I'm not hiking anymore. You go do what you want. I'll sit in the car. I am not hiking anywhere anymore. Most days, because Dax has a counter, what do they call those things that you wear? The Fitbit or whatever kind of thing. And most days we reached 10,000 steps before noon. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. I'm glad to be home. My body was tired. Anyway, I think it was around 3,100 miles that we drove. But it was relaxing. Almost all of our driving routed us on back roads, and so we didn't have a lot of traffic to contend with or any of that, and that just made it relaxing. So I did stitch. I have not missed. It may not have been on what I have on my little calendar, but I did stitch. I was looking to see. The last time I missed a day of stitching was when we were in Las Vegas and I got really sick, and I slept for like 40 hours straight. So there were missed days in there. So that the last day that I didn't stitch was December 10th of 2022. I have stitched a little bit, even on days when I haven't felt good. I at least still put in 5 or 10 stitches into something so that I haven't missed a day since then. I will tell you, I have no idea how many whips I have right now. I haven't counted them up. I haven't done like my stats since September or October. I've got to go and get that all worked out for the end of the year. I feel like I'm going to be in the hole. I don't know. I might get close to breaking even because I bought some stuff. So we will get to all of that. But I did stitch, so I guess we'll get to that too. And we've been back home for a week now, I think. I just, recording has been, it's hard for me to find the time. You know, grandbabies coming over and stuff like that. So anyway, I took my Paula Vaughn Quilts for All Seasons with me, and I did start December's quilt on December 1st. Dina at Half Stitch Cross Stitch is doing this one for a friend of hers. She will finish long before I do. I can assure you of that. Because here is my amazing start. I think I started it like while Dax was in the shower or something like that. Like I said, I stitched every day, but usually not much. I stitched a few times in the car, but not usually even, I didn't even do that every day because we kept stopping and doing stuff and in and out and, you know, having to put it up and all of that. This one is from Redbird Designs. That's what I thought, but I had to make sure. It's one that was on my list for touching all of my whips, and I only did a very little bit. I think that I had the tea like halfway or more, and so I just came in and did this. It looks pretty like it's done on purpose in colors. I'm using, that's all just a variegated DMC floss. All of it, it's just how I put it in there, I guess. I've got stuff all over the place, and I didn't take the time to take everything out of the bags because I can put everything back later, but I don't know when the kids will be here, so I just thought, you know what, instead of taking a lot of time in the setup, we'll just get to it. Paula Vaughn Friendship Quilts. This is on my list of 20. I am going to decide these are the ones that are going to take me 20 years. Anyway, here we are. I have started working past. This time I did a little bit more down there on the porch step. But there's some other things that come in. So in order to, like, there's a pot with flowers that's going to be sitting on the porch. So I came over here and started putting in the post that the flowers sit next to give myself a good where things are supposed to be. It just in case I've gotten off in some of this on the steps or something. So that will be on my list of 20 for next year too. I did not take that one with me. I have a little calendar like this, and I spin wheels to tell me what I'm going to stitch on. If I checked it off, that's what I actually stitched on. If it's got a line through it, I stitched, but not on that item. I just go ahead and roll December as I would any other time because I never know when we're going to be gone. So to go on vacation, I just grabbed some things and put them in a bag, and that's just what I worked on what I felt like. So I worked on Treats for Thee. This is one that Sherry Smith gave me, and she sent me a couple of times box of goodies that had belonged to her mother. And it would appear that I had finished, but I have not. These, the white flowers, you can just barely see them on there. But I only have 3 of them to go. But I have to, I've got to pick out this one. I made the stem too long and it's touching the others. And Dax was like, who's going to notice? And I said, it will drive me crazy. I will notice. It will drive me crazy. And I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to backstitch around the white part on the flowers because I want them to show up a little more than they do. Nothing super bold, and Santa's face is not actually in there. It's just 2 stitches of kind of a flesh color, but it has not been stitched yet. So I'm very close, but not quite there. Out of favorite fingertips, it's a book of fingertip towels, and I'm doing this not on a towel, I'm just doing it in like this, where this leaf border repeats to the end of the towels. So I'll just pick a spot and end mine. But here's where I'm at on it. Before, I only had I think 2 stripes and the roof on the birdhouse. So I finished off the stripes and started the border down here. I haven't decided, like I said, how far out I'm going to go with the leaves and stuff, but there's another little birdhouse that goes right there. I think I was missing that color, and so that's why I didn't keep going. That's when I did stitch in the car. And then I worked on my Indian gnomes. I bought this set with Indians and a set with the 3 cowboys. And I worked on this one, which gets me completed. I touched all 150 of my projects that came into this year. I hear noise out there. I don't know what it is. So here I am. I worked on the headdress. It's a pretty day outside, so my guess is that I hear Dax on the lawnmower getting ready to go do something. It's around noon. Been to the grocery store. I'll grab them a bunch at a time. Sorry. I worked on this one, Valentine Sampler. I got it off of Etsy. Obviously, it doesn't have the store name on this cover photo. I don't see it on any of my pages. If you're interested, let me know and I will look it up. I'm doing mine on an 18 count piece of fabric that I coffee tea dyed myself. I think this is how big it's going to be. Yeah, he's on the tractor. He's got music in his ear, so he's dancing while he's mowing. I'm married to in that case. Anyway, here we are. I brought this down, put in this heart. This is a beige break right here, so, and it only comes down a little bit more. It's just like 20, 30 stitches wide on this part, so and I'm just using 2 colors of floss, just a red and a white. I picked what I liked. I picked a darker red because of the fabric that I put it on. Some of this stuff is things that I've worked on before the last Flosstube that I did, but then I ran out of time in my Flosstube. So some of this, it's been a while since I stitched. Taste of New Orleans. I bought this it's a place down in the Quarter called the Quarter Stitch. It's actually, they had quite a few needlepoint tapestries and hand-dyed yarn and stuff like that. They had just a few cross stitches, but I've been trying to places that we go, if I can get a cross stitch, then I've been trying to do that. So I bought that the last time we went to New Orleans. I was looking to see how it goes. And this is a piece of fabric, again, that I dyed. It was mint green, Ada. And I dyed it with purple and then kind of coffee tea dyed a little bit to tone it down. But here we are. And it lives in a project bag I made that I think this was maybe a placemat. I'm one of those people that whenever I, like when the kids were little, if they had a sweater or a hoodie or whatever that they had destroyed and I was throwing it away, I would cut the zipper out. That's probably where that came from. The zipper that's in there. Anyway, I cut, if something's got pretty lace on it, I'll cut that off, and buttons, that kind of stuff. Anyway, Paula Vaughn, Fabric of Dreams. And here is where we are. It's right here in the middle. That's part of the window, and then the flowers coming down. So I worked on Patchwork Santa. I just love him. He's so cute. But I tell you what, this little, actually all of it, but man, this little teddy bear right here is killing me. And just like this, with all the patterns, that's what I was afraid of. I was pretty sure I just heard the pin, the needle hit something, and it's not here, so make sure it's not on the back. Nope, that is what I heard. Anyway, sorry. Like all of these patterns in here, they're hard to distinguish while you're looking at the pattern. So for the most part, I don't see it until it is, that section's done and it comes into fruition. But it's a lot of color changes for a lot of it. So this time I worked down here on the bear. I'm gonna set this one over here so I can look for that pin. This is a project bag I made from a table runner. I think it was from Target. And in it, I keep all of my little sheep virtues that I've got going on. And I worked on no. Yes. It shouldn't be this difficult, should it? I have. Anyway, I worked on this one, which is Faith. And just, I only had like a little bit of the border done, so I just came over and brought it down. I do not mind. It's okay that these are close and it's close to the edge, because I am going to finish it on a pillow like it is right here. So I only need just a little tiny bit. It'll be fine. It's fine. And I also worked on Gratitude. Try to keep the glare off. It's got a bit more than faith, but I also worked on the border on it, bringing it down on both sides here. I don't know what to do, because I don't want y'all to have to listen to all of this, but I don't want to make a bigger mess than I absolutely have to. On America the Beautiful, this one, if you're new here or if you don't remember, and why would you, I am only filling in the states that Dax and I have actually visited, and I'm not putting in the state capitals just to keep it a little less hectic, especially over on the East Coast. But here we are. I have made it down to Florida, so that's pretty exciting. As you can see, we've been to Maine and Pennsylvania and Virginia. I won't fill in these others until I get the whole state done. The little motifs and the name of the state I'll do once I finish stitching all the states. It's on my list of 20. If we haven't even been to them, I don't anticipate getting it done anytime soon. And we're creatures of habit. We keep going back to the same ones. Although we are trying not to be creatures of habit so much. After the rain, this is one that, because I was doing, am I doing this one? Autumn at Sinking Creek? I think so. But McKenna had this one, so she sent it to me at 1884 Stitchery. And I'm just working up in the sky. That's all we've got right now. And a beaver. As a matter of fact, that's the only floss I have in there right now is for the sky, because that's all I'm doing. Trying to find the picture for this one. This is a stamped cross stitch, and it's one that my mom thought I was stitching porn, because I was at her house the last time, and here's the whole piece. I've started on the cat's tail. That's where I started my stitching, and my mom thought I was stitching porn because that's all she could see. And she's like, what are you stitching? So there you go. Make of it what you will. But you can see how much I've gotten done. And to be fair, she asked that question because she probably would not be surprised. This one, the jelly cabinet, I am stitching this part right here. And I'm not stitching the lines in the wallpaper because I chose striped fabric. It's blue DMC fabric, I believe. And it had blue and white stripes. And I coffee tea dyed it to tone them down a little bit. But I'm working on the cabinet. You can see part of one of the hearts. I think it's probably this one down here. that I'm working on. I worked on this sunflower seed jack-o'-lantern. Jacko. And I am doing the orange in a variegated DMC. I believe that I can't tell that it went to white and that I coffee dyed this to darken it up a little bit. Anyway, there we are. And the scary thing is I've worked on this twice. I know, my needle minders are stuck together. I'm trying to think of anything else that has been going on that was, lots of fun or anything. And right off the top of my head, I got nothing. Surprise, another Polyvon. Sunlight and Silhouettes. And here's we are. This is the window, and this is like part of the bed frame. Little plants in the window, right in this area right here. I feel like I've accomplished something because it actually looks like, there's a potted plant right there. Most of the ones that I have aren't there yet. We were so thrilled on vacation because almost everywhere we went, the people were so nice and friendly, and it was nice. We live in a touristy little town, and most of the business owners around here are not very friendly and accommodating. Maybe it's because I'm a local and they don't want me, I don't know, taking up parking spaces for their out-of-town clients. I don't know, but most of them are not very nice. I'm working on this one, Gothic Cows, that's what I call it. I don't know what its name actually is. Because isn't American Gothic the name of the farmer and the wife standing like that with the pitchfork? I'm doing the cows because it cracks me up. Stupid things. I love stupid things. And here is where I am. I am working on the never-ending brown jacket. It goes on and on and on forever. This is on my list of 20. Again, that apparently stands for 20 years. I worked on, from Plum Street Samplers, Olga. This is another one that Sherry Smith had sent in the box of goodies. I really love working on this one too. And I'm stitching this most of the time. Everything's on Ada. This is on a 28 count light green even weave. That's what it says on the back. It's stuff that I ordered off of eBay because I just like the color, and then later decided to put this on it. I just have a few little alphabet letters and working on the little symbols. I love that little cat needle minder. So cute. We have 6 cats. It's a wonder that I even like cats after some of the cats One of them was mad at me because we were gone. Everybody calls him my cat. So when we got back to show his displeasure, he peed on the stove. Yeah, I don't love that. At the retreat I went to in November for the Golden Needle. I was like, what is the name of that shop? Golden Needle. These were one of the little gifts. We got a goodie bag that these cute little scissors are in. They're very sharp. They have these little, maybe I can get it in there. It's got a little cover that's attached, so you don't have to lose it. Those are awesome. I worked on August. Lizzie Kate Flip It. I have a bunch more in here I need to put on my to start list. But here we are. Now it's just August. I don't know, is that like uggier and August? Like, ugh. It's the ughest. That's what I'm thinking. I think this time I just worked on the letters. The A is in a different color, so. Mason jar lineup by dimensions. It's on my list of 20. Yeah. So here we are. Still working on the white flowers down here. That's kind of, they're rough. White on white is nobody's favorite. I've gotten this, I did get the back stitching done up here on these leaves and stuff. Trying to do a little bit of back stitching as I go, and I think I finally got everything in the in this jar stitched. I had some things that were missing. It's a lot. It's a lot, I know. But it's because I didn't get all caught up last time when I was gone longer than I intended to be. And then I was gone longer this time than I intended to be. So, on this, I believe, because this bag has several patterns because they're all in the same, they're in the same fabric. Here's how I know what I stitched on. It's what the needle minder is on. So, from the Tumbleweeds collection, there's this series of patterns. And I have, I think, all of them in here, but I wouldn't swear to it. Anyway, this time I worked on this one, Broken Arrow Ranch. And here is where I am. I think this time I filled in here and came down to do a little bit of grass. And like I said, I know that because there's my needle minder. I'm building myself a wall here that I will not be able to get past. Hold on, I gotta grab something. No, it didn't do what I wanted it to. Okay, I'm back. I don't usually pause, so obviously I don't really know how to do it. I guess while it was paused, I could have cleaned up this big pile I have here. Hold on. Sorry, Addison was calling me to tell me they weren't going to come over. Sorry. They had a busy day yesterday with lots of activities, and she said he's pretty grouchy today because he didn't get enough sleep. And she works at a preschool, and where he's at, he stays there too. Preschool slash daycare. They have the word has left my mind. They have a curriculum that even in the newborn room, they have things that they try to teach them and go through. So anyway, he stays there, and in the group he's moved up to for his age, they call them young toddlers. He has been moved to just one nap now, and he's transitioning, so it's making him a little bit cranky sometimes. Anyway, not that I should pay attention to any of this, because that baby loves Dax way more than me. Dax told me yesterday that I should just go take my Don't Be Jelly pills. He lights up every time he sees Dax. It's insane. Yesterday, we spent, Dax and I, hours draining our hot water heater, cleaning out the sediment from the bottom, and replacing the heating elements. Our water is so hard that has to be done like every year. I think it's been a year and a half since we did it, but it really has to be done every year. It's insane. So, I'm glad to just hang out here and do my video, and I don't have to feel rushed or like I need to get things done before the kids get here, because the kids aren't going to get here today. So here we are. It's all good. It is all good. Out of this handy hem towels, I worked on the February one. Here's where I am. This is, it came in a kit. I made a needle minder out of it. It came in a kit that the girls had, and it's like glass, and then you paint it on the back side of the glass, and they made me some of these, and I don't know who made this one. It was either Abigail or Kirsten, I'm pretty sure. Addison struggles with crafts because she wants to be perfect the first time that she does them. I got her to do some diamond painting, and then we've worked a little bit on punch needle. When she liked the diamond painting, Jacob was like, your mom's going to be so happy that you have a craft. But anyway, this is where we are. I enjoyed working on this. When I get it done, this is what I went to grab. I've already done January. I will make it into a towel. I don't like the back of my stitching to show on stuff, so I don't buy the towels that have the Aida already built in. I stitch it on regular Aida, and then I just cut it out and sew it on. And this one has little snowflake. When I bought this pattern, I was like, oh, I'll do one of those every month and blah, blah, blah. And here we are. I may have to go get a cough drop. I worked on this, I'm calling it Bunny Circle. I'm not going to do this part in the middle. I am sure this is from the Year of the Rabbit, Chinese New Year, but I don't know what that says, and I don't like to stitch things that I don't know what they say. But I think this is the top. Here is where I am. And I'm stitching this with the whole thing with just one variegated thread. It was from Mad X Stitcher. It's called Cold Morning Blue. I had ordered just like a mystery bag or whatever, you know, and it just came with a bunch of different ones. I don't think that's gonna, it's looking brighter on my camera than it, on my screen than it is in life. It's kind of, you know, it's shades of blue, but it's a little more toned down than what it's showing. Anyway, she quit dying, so, but I like it. And this came in, Janet had sent me a box with, this is like one of those daily calendars. It's a daily cross stitch. Most of the patterns they use for 2 days. It covers 2 days. She sent me a box with 5 or 6 years worth of calendars in it. So when I talk about how much I have right here in this box, that's all full of partially kitted things for me to start. It doesn't, it only has like 1 or 2 of the calendars, the calendar cross stitch patterns. I have a whole list of like 40, but I just pull them out a little bit at a time and put them in there. I think this is the one I worked on. Delivering Snow. And this is another, these were part of what Sherry Smith were things in the box. She sent me just wonderful, wonderful things. But anyway, this one I've worked on, and for this basket, the wagon, it calls for a blue. I just grabbed from what I have. Obviously, calls for blue. So. I grabbed from what I had because for those of you who have been here, you may remember that I have ordered a, it's a scientific unit of measure, a crap ton of different blue threads, trying to get a right blue thread. So this is a blue silk from, I'm not going to be able to remember. Again, I just, Stitchy Box. They sell some of their, like, it was just like a little grab bag of silks. This one is called Violet, but it's really kind of blue. I don't know why everything looks so like, I hope it doesn't look that way for you. Anyway, there's the pattern, and that's where I'm at. I'm getting into the word on there. I think it says snow. Yes. And it's just on a scrap of, I don't know what. A scrap that won't go back in there. I have 3 of them going, so I have them all in the same very fancy project bag. This is a project bag that I made. I stitched this Raggedy Ann. It was a Block of the Month club. Daisy Cottage did that, Sharon. It came with the pattern. These came with like a little note card with Raggedy Ann. The pattern And these fabrics, this one and the one on each end, I added on to get it the size I wanted this to be. This is just some other fabric that I had, just blue polka dots inside. Anyway, it holds also. The others are all in one bag. I don't know why this one's separate. I think because I did it at separate times. Delivering floors. And here is where I'm at on it. This one is really not terribly far from being finished. I've got to finish this flower. Put the middle in there. See these? I need to put the middle in. And then I've got these. So not terribly much. Depending on how much time I have available, 1 or 2 more sessions on it. But we'll see. I know how that goes. Floss came out with it. This time, I do believe, actually, I think I've worked on both of them. These are, on my list, it's Magazine Birdhouse 1, 2, because it came out of a magazine in their birdhouses, and I like it, inventive names. There you go. That's as close as I can get it. They have it all together on one pillow. I'm doing them all separately. And I have started this one and this one, I believe. I believe that is correct. So, this one I have started, and I thought I was off, so I pulled a bunch of stitching out and I restitched it and realized that I was correct the first time, because I didn't realize I had put in a color that I had counted off of the first time. The second time I pulled it out because I didn't think I'd put it in. So a third time, here we are. So I finally, it was feeding off of this flower right here is where I was getting off. And so I finally got that right and started filling in some of the other stuff. This down here is what I've ripped out over and over again. So I got it all in this time around there, and I hope we're good. And then I've started this one. So here we are on it. And I've gotten farther on this one because I haven't ripped this out 2 times and stitched it 3. So hopefully on this one, I have gotten to a place where we'll be okay going forward and I can actually make some progress. I hear the lawnmower coming back around. That man has so much trouble just sitting and relaxing. He doesn't know how to do it. I'm working on this one. I'm doing this one down here right now. I believe it is also one that was in the box of stuff that Sherry sent me. Like I said, she sent me all kinds of wonderful things. And I'm doing it on a red fabric. And here we are. Last time, I think I had the snowflake and then just a little part, maybe the antlers, but so this time I got all of this in. I believe that was, that when in doing my trying to touch all of my projects this year, I was doing those that hadn't been touched yet on Saturdays and Sundays. So it was interfering with, especially while I was doing my new starts. On those were always on Sundays, so each week, and so on Sunday I was doing trying to touch an old piece, doing a new start, and trying to work on my solitude piece, which has been severely lacking because since things changed in January, my Sundays weren't leisurely with lots of time for stitching anymore. So I'm going to try to change that in this coming year. I'm not quite sure how, but so that on Saturday and Sunday those pieces get the work they deserve and the others will fit in somewhere else. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, out of this book, A Cross Stitch Christmas, I got this book from Hirschner's in their clearance section for like $5 plus shipping. When these books come out, they're usually around $30 or $40. They are stuffed full of patterns, but if you can get it a year later, 2 years later, whatever, I don't even know what year this one's from. It's Joyful Tidings. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna run out of things to stitch if I don't get it right now. 2017. This is their 2017 book. I don't want you to see the pattern on the other page. I'm doing this stocking right here for Jacob, my son-in-law. But not in those colors. His favorite color is blue, so I'm doing it on maybe it was a Gold Harvest or something like that linen that I got from 1884 Stitchery, and I'm using, this one is, I believe, a DMC blue, and this one is just a it's a silk thread, I think. And the crazy thing is I'm using 2 strands over 2 for the DMC and 1 strand over 2 for the silk. It looks much more full. This is the project that is the reason that I have a number of blue threads, trying to find something that would be different enough to show up that it's different. I have to be honest, like I've said before, this kind of reminds me of the Albertsons logo. Oh no, that was another needle. I think it rolled down into the bag. Anyway, so last time Shelly was at Albertsons, she sent me a picture. Well, it's probably not the last time she was there, but one of the times, I found this one, yay. One of the times Shelly was at Albertson from It's Only Stitching, she sent me a picture of the logo. Okay, this is the last group from the bag. Out of Your Welcome. If you're new here, I have a thing about welcomes, but really nobody ever comes to my house. It's not that you're not welcome, but people who live in town don't like to drive out of town to go somewhere, and our parents don't even come to the house anymore because they live in Houston, and it's a 3-hour drive, or 4, and my parents are in their 80s, Dax's parents are in their 70s, and none of them want to drive that far, which is fine, which is why next Saturday we'll go to Houston to celebrate Christmas with all of them. That makes it easier for Dax's parents to go see his sister and her kids because they're still little, and to celebrate Christmas with them. And They don't have to choose where they're going to be. We can make it all work. Anyway, none of that matters. All of that to say, I love welcome things and nobody comes to see me. So anyway, I'm working on this one. I'm doing it kind of wrong because the background is supposed to be half stitches. And I had put in, again, a crap ton of stitches when I realized that it was supposed to be half stitches and I was not going to take it out. So here we are. But I mean, the letters still show up. It's not like they disappear into the stitching or anything like that. So I just kind of start up here and kind of meander my way down. I'm trying not to end everything the same so that I don't get little lines everywhere. It's a lot of stitching. A lot of stitching. This is one that's on my list of 20 Mill Hill buttons and beads on the range. And here is where I'm at. I finally put in some of the more of the stitches on that poor horse so he didn't look so malnourished as he did before. A lot of the blank spaces down here now are where beads go. I'm trying to get all the cross stitching done before I go back and do the beading. I have not separated them yet. These are my extra threads, but I did buy one of these off of Etsy, I believe, for beads to go in. It's, as you can see, it's got magnets on all four corners, and it sits very flush. The magnets are on the wood are kind of set in. They're flush, so that when you separate out the beads and put them in here, they won't come out the sides. They won't spill into the other containers and stuff. If you're interested, I will look and see where I got it. Where Bluebonnets Grow by Art Ventures. I have several of theirs, apparently, but here we are. We're up in this area here. It's a handwritten pattern, hand-drawn pattern. Sometimes it's kind of hard to read, but that's okay, we're tough. This one is another pattern I got on Etsy. I am under the impression that it was a dimensions pattern, but I have not been able to find that anywhere. When I ordered this, I don't see that I've got the name of where I ordered it. If you're interested, I can find out. I looked everywhere to see if this was a pirated pattern, but I really couldn't find anything original by anyone else that it's a dimensions pattern. For me is hearsay because I couldn't find it through Dimensions either. I went to Dimensions. Anyway. I'm not going to be stitching all of that background. And that is because I bought the, from Fabric Flair, I think. Yes, it's a Fabric Flair fabric. Do I have it going the right way? No, it goes like this. I bought the one that looks like wood, right? So I don't feel like I need to stitch in the wood looking. I'll just stitch in the other stuff. So here I am. We've got one glass going. And because it's where I always start, it's right here. The picture cuts off. There you go. Here's the other part of it. Anyway, here's where we are. Someday in 10 or 12 years, I'll get it finished. And then in another 10 or 12 years, I'll FFO it. And hang it in our bar area. Out of September 2016 Cross Stitcher magazine, I'm doing this one. It says Days of Gold here. That's what I'm calling mine. I don't know if that's the name of the pattern or not. I'm doing this on a 28 count 1/1. It says it's gray mist. It says Alma, and I don't know if that's who dyed it or what fabric kind or whatever. I don't know. But 1/1 on this fabric is rough. I go very slow. I have to use a magnifier, which I usually don't. But here we are. I think I've got everything finished here in the house except for the grass underneath the porch. But I think the rest of it is done. I don't know. This is on my list of 20. So I've got more years. I'll look them up and see how many more years. The porch, the friendship quilts that is on the porch, the Paul is my oldest current project, and it's from 2016. So I'm not at 10 years yet. If I don't get some work done, I will be. This is another project bag that I made. I put a little jack-o'-lantern jingle bell on there as my zipper pull. This is from that same monthly subscription, and I added on the edges there, just yellow in the back, and just a plain white inside. But it is housing Graveyard Halloween. And I am stitching this on a, I think it's a 14 count. I have it in here. 14 count Ada by DMC called Grasshopper. Grasshopper. And here is where we are. Oops. I have ordered, actually I have it. It's in my purchases. I'm going to set this aside so I can put it with it. I ordered the called for variegated. It's just a DMC variegated for the moon there. And that's everything I've stitched since who knows when. In the last 2 months at least. I don't know. But I have purchased. That's why I said I'm going to have to really go back and look to get dollar amounts and everything for the things that I've done. I was looking to see because I thought I purchased some things that I hadn't shown y'all yet. Anyway, we'll go through what I have right here. I was at the thrift store last weekend here in town. Sometimes I just like to run in there, especially if I'm just by myself and I don't have someplace to be right away. Anyway, I bought this. Save the stitches, you know. That's pretty cute. And it has the other half of the fabric that they used. It's just Ada, but I can FFO that because I'm so fast at that anyway. And I still have the other side. This one, I bought this one too. They were each $1. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. My family must know I'm in here trying to record a video because that was Dax. And when he was out there cutting, he noticed there's something wrong with one of the sprinkler heads. So maybe it's the one that shot into his face and got him all sick, and he cursed it, and now it's not working and bubbling up. So anyway, where were we? We were on this. This is another one that I bought at the thrift store. They were $1 a piece. And this one looks like it's probably maybe an 18 count, but it's stitched over 2. And it's I think I looked, and they use like I think they use pearl cotton, not floss. Anyway, so I bought those because you got to save the stitches and all of that. While we were on vacation, one of the places I said we went was the Petrified National Forest, and in their gift shop they had some cross stitch kits, so I bought this one. It's a full kit. The woman was looking at us because Dax was like, no, and I was like, leave me alone, I'm buying it. He's like, you don't need it. And I said, that has nothing to do with it. Dax doesn't care what I buy. And Cynthia at the Intuitive Stitcher had surprised me with a gift card to 123 Stitch a while back, and so I have been looking for because I have an idea in my head, and I wanted a thing with like the sewing tomatoes. So I bought this one. I think it'll work. I had seen some other things. We're just going to have to play it by ear and see how it goes. But with the gift card that she got me, I got this, and I bought the fancy floss that goes with it, and I got the that's the thread that goes with the Halloween piece. So I'm looking forward to starting that one to see if what's going on in my mind will work in real life. That is always the question. And then from the retreat, the Golden Needle retreat that was at the beginning of November, I had some purchases from it. I bought these cute little Texas. They look like stamps. I haven't decided if I'll stitch them up like that or if I'll make little ornaments. I'm not sure. And of course, we got some free patterns from the retreat. We got this one from Cross Stitch Curiosities. Isn't that cute? Happy Haunting. I was looking at some of the others, but I don't want to just show them. This was on the exchange table, and you know, that's right up my alley. This I bought in the store. It is not a cross stitch pattern. It is an embroidery and quilting pattern, but I have loved this pattern forever, and she had it in the store and I bought it. That's how I work. Caught me at the right time. This is another one that is embroidery, but he's so freaking adorable. And quite frankly, embroidery goes much faster than cross stitching. I don't know why I don't do more of it. And I bought a couple of fabrics. This is Aslan from Atomic Ranch. And then Heather from Fiber on a Whim. I haven't even opened these up and looked at the whole thing. And Affogato from Fiber on a Whim. And then this cute little Heinz It. Love Texas. This is another one that was on the table. Giveaway, exchange, whatever. Sherry Burkett showed up with boxes of books and magazines. But I've been doing this we've been doing this both for a long time. And I had to laugh at how many of the things I already have. And I got a couple of magazines from there. The Just Cross Stitch Halloween. This one is from, I know the year's on here, volume 28, issue 5. September, October of 2010. I got this cute little one from Trilogy. I'm assuming that all of the magazines came from Sherry. Just Cross Stitch, October of 22. And most of these, it's because I saw something inside as I flipped through. But that isn't even always necessarily true. And then Cross Stitch in Needlework. It's a Better Homes and Gardens. February of 1999. So look, even when I have a pick of all kinds of things, I still pick old things. We got, look, I've been trying to remember the name of it, and it's printed in big letters on the back that's sitting on my lap. I can tell y'all that that's not new to me. When I was in, I think, 3rd grade, we were having a spelling test, and Minnesota was one of the words on the test, and I spelled it incorrectly. And when I was, because when we got words, when we spelled them wrong, we had to go and write them 10 times each, the words we got wrong or whatever, and turn it back in. And my mom was looking at me, asking me what I was doing when I was doing my homework, and I was telling her that I spelled it wrong, so I had to do it over. I had to do it 10 times. And she's like, "You spelled Minnesota wrong?" And I was like, "Yes." And she's like, "Have you looked at the shirt you're wearing today?" And I was like, I looked down. I was wearing a Minnesota Vikings sweatshirt that my parents had brought back from a business trip that they had been on. I said, "Well, at least you know I didn't cheat." So see, I still don't know. Okay. That is not everything I bought. I bought some other patterns that I bought off Etsy, and I don't know what I've done with them. I know I carried them out here, but where did I put them? They're probably under this big pile of stuff that the kitted projects that I just put here. If I find them, I'll save them for next time. If I don't find them, I guess I'm going to have to get back on my emails and print them out. Okay. Let's look. They've got to be around here somewhere, because Huh. Oh, I think I found. They were at the bottom of the stack of other things that I stacked a bunch of stuff up and moved them out of my way. Here are at least 2 of them. This one, Christmas baubles. Isn't that just... I don't know how designers can make that look like it's shining glass when it's just not. It's thread, but they do it. And then this one, which is a little out of character for me. I'm kind of surprised at myself, but isn't that pretty? So, this one is from 2x2 Stitch Art, and the Christmas baubles is from Anna Benani. Both of these are on Etsy, and if you want to know more, let me know, and I will look up the links. Okay. For those of you who have been watching me for a long time and know how I am, I'm going to need you to have a seat. Don't be operating any heavy machinery, no sharp objects, because I'm about to make you faint and dizzy. You are not going... I don't want you to hurt yourself. You're not going to be able to handle this. So, first of all, from my list of 20, I have a finish. Hooray! There came a point where I was like, wait a minute. I'm actually close to finishing this. I didn't think it was going to happen this year. But like I said, there came a point where I was like, whoa, wait a minute. So looky there. I have a finish off my list of 20. And I already texted Shelly at It's Only Stitching and let her know, because she low-key threatened me at the beginning of the year about getting this one finished. And I was scared, so I did. And this one also came off my list of 20. So I am so excited about both of these. It's not very impressive, but I got 5 of the things on my list of 20 done this year. And I know that you're probably already feeling a little bit woozy just from those 2 finishes. But I have more. Oh my gosh. I'm knocking patterns down. Let's see. That one's not finished. I finished another one of the kids' ornaments. So now I have 3 finished. Here I am on, this is the last one I need to get done. So hopefully in the next few days I can manage that. Addison called me a minute ago. It's one of the reasons I had to pause. To tell me that they're not going to come over today. I think I already said that because he was crabby, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I do have this totally finished. So, I almost spelled his name wrong because I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, I thought it turned out pretty cute. His mom will be thrilled. Are you woozy enough? Because I've got more. I've got more. If you need to go get some smelling salts, let me know. I sewed Abigail's stocking. It's an actual stocking now. I used the felt that came in the kit. It's a nice thick felt. And then inside is just this cute fabric. I know. I'm going to give you time to pull yourself back together. FFOs. Me. FFOs. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Wyatt's stocking is a stocking. Can you believe it? And this fabric is what I chose for the inside of his. It's a really lovely winter scene kind of fabric. I don't know if you can tell. It's really pretty though. It's got like trees and holly berries and poinsettias and all that kind of stuff. It's very lovely. I went to the quilting shop here in town and picked that out. On the back of Wyatt's is a blue velvet. On this, I don't know if I can get it to show up. It doesn't look like it's going to. Maybe you can see like right here. What I did was, I hate that it won't show up now. You can see there in the light right there. It's highlighted kind of. I took a rubber stamp, and if you take a cool iron and a rubber stamp and you put the rubber stamp face up, you lay your velvet with the velvet side down on the rubber stamp and touch it with a moderately warm iron. It leaves indentions so you can see like the snowflake there and there and everything, where you can put a pattern on there that's not like, in your face and everything. So I had a rubber snowflake stamp that I did that with. Maybe that'll help. This is, oh, that makes a huge difference right there with it adjusting. That velvet is left over from a formal dress I made years and years ago. It's what I had on when Dax proposed to me. So we've been married for over 29 years. So that's from a long time ago, but I'm a crafter. I don't get rid of anything. So anyway, that's all I have. I figured I would end on a high note where I actually got some things finished. It's not even Christmas yet. It only took me 25 years to get the stocking done. So what's another year to actually sew it? Anyway, that is everything. And I hope you've caught your breath again, that you've got your wits about you, because I know that was shocking. But there you go. Maybe next time I'll actually do something again. Who knows? It may be the new me. Next year, actually going forward, I am strongly considering doing the little daily vlog type thing and putting them all together once a week or whatever, to do my videos, mostly because, as you can see by the length in between them, long periods of time to sit down and do a video is an issue right now. But I don't want to stop doing them. I love doing them. I love sharing with y'all. I love talking with people, and all of that fun stuff. So tell me what you think about that. I have to see if I can figure out how to do that. I am not the most technically savvy person out there. So I would have to figure that out, but I'm a big girl. I can do it. Yeah, so let me know what you think of that. And I mean, if it's like you watch my videos and you're going to tell me I would absolutely hate that, then I would really have to give it a second thought. I also think next year, for the monthly quilts, the Paula Vaughn quilts that I've started this year, I think next year on Fridays, I'm going to dedicate that day to those. Like in January, every Friday in January, I'll stitch on the January quilt. On Saturdays, I really want to focus on the friendship quilts, the Paula Vaughn, that's my oldest. And my second oldest is Solitude. I'm not even halfway through that. So on Sundays, I want that to be my focus piece. And I'm not going to do new starts or the trying to touch all of my whips. I'm not going to use the weekends for that because I really want to push those forward. If I could get one of the two of them finished, I would be thrilled. I started both of those in 2016. I think during Stitch Mania, actually. And there's a lesson. Don't start giant projects during Stitch Mania. I am going to get back to doing new starts. Oh, I was like, where did that go, as a matter of fact? I signed up from Pine Needles. Yes, Pine Needles. This monthly club. Yeah. I signed up for monthly clubs. I signed up for this one, which is the Mini Village. And this club comes with the pattern and fabric. And I'm thinking this is going to be my New Year New Start piece. I have no illusion of getting these finished each month. I don't do stitch-alongs that way. Speaking of stitch-alongs, Shelly and I, KeyX Stitch, are going to do a stitch-along. I even wrote what we were going to call it down so I wouldn't forget, because I am pretty good at that. I have to see if I can find the piece of paper now. I don't know what I've done with it. I moved stuff around everywhere while I was sewing, and so now I don't know what I've done with stuff. Anyway, I'm using my Paisley Pumpkin. I'm looking for a lot of things right now. I buried all of those patterns. For this one, I can't find this one because it's out of the Keepsakes cross-stitch calendar. And she's got another one that she's doing out of that same calendar. So we're going to do a stitch along. I haven't checked with her. She's probably done with hers. I think that it's Keepsake Calendar Sal, but it might be, these might, 2017 is when it's from. So I don't know if we just went with Keepsake Calendar Sal or 2017 Keepsake Calendar Sal, but I'll tear this place apart again and find what we're gonna, our hashtag for it. I almost got excited because there's a piece of paper. I thought I had written it down here, but I didn't. I don't know why I have a random piece of paper in there, but there you go. So anyway, if y'all want to sell that one with us, I'll actually find it and take a picture of mine, and I'll actually put it on Instagram. I'm terrible about all of that. But anyway, so I signed up for this. And then I also signed up for the one that Pine Needles does. Like this year they have, it's like a little tray and taller in the back, you know. And I don't even remember right now what the first one is. But with your first one you get the tray thing, and then each month you get the pattern and the stuff to decorate the tray and instructions on how to make that all and everything. So I signed up for that one too. And then I'm still doing Shannon Christine. I was like, Christine, the Shannon Christine this year was these mugs, and I've gotten all of these. Her Christmas club is ongoing. Unless you cancel it, you just roll into the next one. This year's is gingerbread, and it is, again, adorable. It's alternating between, like, I think the first one, I downloaded it. I haven't printed it out yet. I think the first one is like pine trees, but they're gingerbread pine trees. And then it'll be a gingerbread house. And I've seen one of them is going to be like a gingerbread truck. They're adorable. They're freaking adorable. So I'm doing that one too because I don't have enough stuff sitting waiting there. So I've signed up for those clubs too. But I've put the new starts on my wheel, and when it spins a new start, I will grab the next one and proceed. So that's how I'm not gonna do them on Sundays next year like I have in the past. I'm just gonna do them when they come up and my spins. So now we'll see how I fit in touching all my projects next year. I'll probably get to the end of the year or halfway through the year and then have a panic attack about it and be like, and be just stitching 10 stitches in every one. I guess worst case, I could do 100 stitches and call it good. Okay, I think that's everything. I hope everyone has a wonderful week. I thank you for coming back and sticking with me. I think I'm going to try to figure out how to do the daily vlog and cram it all together. I'm not big on editing. It will just be the pieces crammed in. And maybe if I can get this video of Dax rolling down the sand dune, if I can get that put in, that will be a big lesson for me on how to get it all done. I hope you have a very Merry Christmas if you celebrate, and I hope you have a wonderful and blessed week if you don't. We'll see you next time, guys. Thanks for being here, the likes, the subscribing, the comments. I love it all. And I appreciate you more than you know. Thanks, y'all. Bye.